Just want to show you all the plot and show you everything we got growing on for y'all. So I'll do a quick video tour. We've got a really nice bed of zucchini going. Everything's flowering. We got some fruit forming. So hopefully next week everybody will get some zucchini. If not next week, then the week after. It's a really nice bed of zucchini there, and this bed was previously cover cropped. It's looking really nice. 4 beds under this tunnel were also cover cropped. We've got lettuce, cucumbers, lettuce, broccolini. We've got another bed of zucchini here. Looking good, lots of flowers. That's where the fruit comes from, so that means lots of fruit. We've got a bed of collards here. It's my first time growing collards, so I'm really excited about this. We've got radishes here. We're actually about to harvest these radishes for y'all for this week's box. And then behind that is a bed of turnips in the same bed. That's radishes, that's turnips there. This is another bed of broccolini planted earlier than that one. So this one's further along. Not exactly sure when we'll get broccolini off of this, but in the next few weeks probably. And this is probably next week's lettuce. It's a romaine. There's a few mixed types in there too. And then behind these beds back there we have green onions and more green onions there. This is the first bed of okra that we've been harvesting off all season. We harvested that all summer too. Still going strong. Now these were transplanted, and you'll see the difference between the transplanted crop. These have been here since like March, and the direct seeded crop was planted in around July. Turmeric's looking good. We did have to harvest this bed of ginger, which y'all all got the shoots from and little pieces of roots, and then this bed of ginger is looking better than this one was. We had to take this one out just because it was getting such bad disease. It was gonna all collapse and we wouldn't have got anything from it. So now we can plant something else in this bed. Turmeric looking good. So here's the direct seeded okra versus transplanting. Just way different. Huge plants. Pretty hard to harvest that stuff. It's like I crawl back here every time I harvest. I just kind of push the plants out of my way because I have to harvest both sides. So long sleeves and pants, and try not to get the spines in your face. I just harvested this yesterday. All these are already ready to harvest again, so I harvest this every day. We tried to plant some beans there, but they just didn't get enough sun. You can see all of them. I guess they're kind of like a cover crop at that point. This kale, we're harvesting this week for y'all. Lots of baby kale there. These carrots, I think we're harvesting these this week. Swiss chard. These will be ready, if not next week, pretty soon. Arugula behind that. I imagine we'll harvest that next week. I tried to plant spinach here and I just did not have any success with it. I had a few plants, but that's it. So I'll have to replant this to something else. And I'll start some spinach in trays just to make sure we get a crop or a few crops. These tomatoes are Cherokee Purple heirlooms. Trying to get them to go up the cattle panel trellis. There's dill planted over there. Let's see if I can zoom in. I'll just walk over there. I don't know why my leaves are curling. They definitely don't need water. So I'm trying to figure out what's up with that. There's some dill. Here's a little, few spinach plants popped up. It's just not enough to keep this bed, so I've got to replant this bed. This is the arugula. Swiss chard behind it. Carrots. Kale. Okra. This is a bed of carrots. Germination wasn't very good, but we'll probably keep it because we'll get some out of it. Beets, and I've got new seedings behind these beets. I've got cilantro seeded in a little spot, and then behind that tatsoi, it's an Asian green. We've got beets here, lots of beets and dill and gold beets and more beets behind there. This is a freshly seeded bed of radishes and turnips, and we have another direct seeded okra crop right behind it. This stuff is insane. So all those yellow flowers turn into the okra fruit that we eat if they're pollinated. Here we have this week's lettuce. This is myrrh. If we don't do heads, we might cut it for a loose leaf mix. We'll see. So to harvest this okra, I have to walk through here. So I kind of just push the plants, and long sleeves and pants are required because it's a spiny plant. It's really itchy. More tomatoes. These are Cherokee Purple as well. And then I have 2 rows of carrots planted on either side. I've read they're good companion plants, so we'll see. We have purple daikon radish here, probably for next week. And then behind that, a freshly seeded bed of carrots. It's covered by a tarp because they take forever to germinate. If they dry out at all, they'll fail. And then this is a bed of kale, baby kale that I just seeded, lettuce, okra. These are the peppers that we've been harvesting. So that's what we have growing. I'll take you over to the greenhouse too and show you the microgreens. We've been working behind the scenes a lot with our water system, and some of our trenches filled in. I'll show you. Ours harvesting some radishes. So unfortunately our trenches catch a lot of runoff that flows onto our property from there. All the runoff flowed into our trench along here and flowed into here and collapsed some of the walls, and then our pipe floated up, so we had to do a lot of hand excavation here and try to remediate that situation. And then we're working on finishing the pipe that's behind the barn. Here I am in the greenhouse. We've got lots of lettuces started, ready to go out. We've got kohlrabi, cabbage, lots of beets, cauliflower, kale. This is like the big bunching kale type. More cabbage, basil, parsley, more beets. These are like extra tomatoes and cucumbers. Fennel right there, extra Swiss chard. And then you can see the sunflower shoots under shade there. And we've got micro mix here in these trays. We'll be harvesting this for this week. More beets, micro mix. Mr. Fangs. The sunflower shoots here under shade. Ready to harvest, and if not today, then definitely tomorrow. And here's the next plot we're working on. Sorry, I got my cat on me. The trenches that we need to lay pipe in right here. Still got to put pipe in all those trenches. It'll go to either side of the property, and we can feed the water all the way to the back. And as soon as these pipes are laid, we can fill in the trench. I can get my tractor back here. We'll subsoil this, start mineralizing the soil. Hang on, set my cat down. Mr. Fangs, stop. I got compost staged over there, so I need to subsoil this, mineralize it, balance it, and we'll start developing this for beds. So there's lots of space here. We're gonna start with about 30 100-foot beds which we currently have about 30 50-foot beds in the plot I just showed you, where all the veggies are growing. So this will more than double our space. I guess it'll triple our space. And we also got approved for another tunnel grant, so we'll be putting 300-foot tunnels back here as well when the time comes. Thanks everybody. I'm gonna go harvest. See y'all soon.